Hey guys, Morgan's Maintenance, episode 17 of Guess the Trade. But first, let's jump back and talk about episode 16. We looked at two different loadouts. The first one that we looked at was Road Rage Jason. He had that Vito Pro TPXL and then also the OC140, the pouch or whatever it is that you want to call that. A lot of nice tools inside of there. We even questioned maybe what does he do with some of these things. He had a lot of different hemostats and things like that. Well, in his comment, he said that he is an IT service tech and primarily deals in like office type equipment. And in fact, he even sent me a picture here that you can see of a type of copy machine printer thing that he would typically work on. So that's why he needs all those tools so that he can get in there and grab out jams and things like that. So that's what he did with his tools. The second one that we looked at was Kevin James. He had the TPLC. A lot of nice tools also inside of there that you can see here. What did he do with his tools? If you look at his comment here, he starts out by answering a lot of tool questions that we had for him, but down at the very bottom, if you scroll down, it says that he is a handyman, also does apartment maintenance, and you can also see there that Stefan nailed it right on the head as far as for his guess. So that's what he did with his tools. So that's the two loadouts that we looked at. Today we're going to look at two more. The first one's going to be Kieran McCormick. And then the second one's going to be Patrick James. I think they both have Vito. And then also Kieran has a Velocity bag as well. So we're going to go ahead and get into those. But the first one we're going to look at is Kieran McCormick. He's got a Vito Pro TPLC, also an MP1X, and then a Velocity Rogue. It might be like a 5.0 or something like that. I can't remember exactly what the number was on that. But three different bags. Let's go ahead and jump into his tools and see if we can guess what he does with those. So if we start out looking at the front of the bag, again, this part is a TPLC. You can see also he's got that MP1X over here to the side, kind of clipped on. He's got all these tools pulled out here in a little bit, but just looking at the outside of the bag there, he runs Milwaukee. He's also got a fluke meter, it looks like, over there on the side. Some metric Vera sockets over here. There's a tongue twister. Also a Joker wrench, tape measure. So let's go to the next picture. Here it is opened up. So he's got some Vera screwdrivers inside of there as well. Looks like probably some Knipex tools. That's what I'm seeing mostly is Vera and Knipex, it looks like, for the most part. So he's also got that Wubin Al 3 up there in the top. Let me know how well you like that. I really like that flashlight, but let me know how you like that, Kieran. Next picture over here on this side is his MP1X. So he's got the Vessel electric screwdriver inside of that along with the flip socket. He's also got, it looks like, the Vera bit holding screwdriver. We'll see that more here in just a minute. Probably a pair of maybe forged wire strippers and maybe a pair of diagonals or something there. We'll see what those are for sure. And then a Joker and a tape measure. Going over here to the next picture. So here's a Velocity Rogue. Yes, so it is a 5.0. So here's the outside of that bag. And those metric Vera sockets were actually hanging on in this bag in that last picture. Here we open this up. Again, just taking a look at his setup because, again, we're going to see all these tools, I think, pulled out in a little bit. Maybe not all of them, but for the most part. So he's got some Knipex Cobras, a couple different sizes, pairs. I think that might be a Klein crimper right there. Some Vera screwdrivers up at the top. Let's see, IP dust-proof light. I'm not sure what that light that is. That might be a Klein light. I'm not real sure. Klein receptacle tracer tester. Klein torpedo level down there. Some Vera hex keys. So let's go over to the next picture. Here he's got a light up there in the top, so he's lighting it up for us a little bit. Also has the Vera Cyclops down there. Many loadouts have had that in the last little bit. We'll see what this next picture is. So this is what's inside of the bag that we just looked at, because you can see the Cyclops and the Cobras. So over here we got a step bit, also a flashlight, Vera blade holding screwdrivers, a pair of scissors. Looks like a SDS Plus, probably like either 5/32 or looks more like a 3/16, maybe for Tapcons or something like that. A pair of Cobras, two different pairs. One of them's the alligator, one of them's the button push. Over here you got the pliers wrench. Those all look like they're all 180s. And then up here you got some bigger ones. Those are probably two. He's got two pairs of, looks like probably 250s, and this one's probably a 300 right here. Here's a couple of those Vera Jokers. I actually have just added some of these to my list. And if I was to get one of these, what size would you suggest getting? I was looking at that 13 to 16 millimeter, which I think would be, if I remember right, maybe 1/2 inch to 5/8 or something like that. Let me know in the comments below if you've got any of those wrenches. I was wanting to buy me one just to try it, just to see how I liked it. I think that's probably the size that would get used the most, but if you've got the whole set of these and you kind of work in the maintenance realm, or you just do like, you know, plumbing, but not from the beginning to the end, like faucets and things like that. If you were to pick out one of those wrenches, which one is it that you use the most? If you have those, I'm interested in that, so comment that down below. Getting back into these, he's got the Milwaukee adjustable wrenches. Those are both very good wrenches, in my opinion. They're some of the few really Milwaukee hand tools that I've actually preferred over other brands. You know, I like several Milwaukee hand tools, but those are ones that I actually prefer over some other ones that I've used. Pair of Knipex needle nose, some diagonals. There's that Vera black screwdriver that everybody loves, talks about in the comments. So also has the Klein tester right there. Again, can't say enough about this tester. I just had a thing where I had a breaker tripping, and I was trying to just see how stuff was reading before it tripped, because it wasn't tripping like from the get-go. It might sit for 5 minutes and then trip, but sometimes the panel was all the way out in the garage, and by the time I got back in, sometimes it was tripping, and I was able to stick this in the receptacle, flip the breaker, and then by the time I got back in, if it was tripped, I still had the reading saved on that tester. So that's another reason why I really like that one, the fact that it saves the reading until you kind of reset it, or at least saves it for a little bit of time. Again, I can't say enough about that tester. If you haven't picked that up, you might want to get that one. Again, going back into this, he's got that Cyclops there. Klein flush cuts, I've got those. They're not my favorite, but they're okay. Klein crimpers, everybody seems to really like those. A pair of Knipex lineman plier, also the Vera hex keys, looks like metric sizes right there. And then again, there's some pliers, wrenches. So there's those tools. Here's just a different look at them. I think we could see them pretty good over there in that last picture, but here's just a different angle, so you can kind of look at that and look at this one as well, because I think he's got several pictures here that we'll go through. So here is, I'm assuming that if you flip the bag around, because now the sockets are on the left side, he's got a DeWalt impact in here, along with Fluke meter, 3000 FC, a Brady label maker, an extra battery up here it looks like, and then probably some jumpers and test leads and things like that up in there. So here's all those things. So his Fluke, again, it's a 300 FC, and he's got the alligator clips. He's got the I forget what you actually specifically call these, but they're like a plunger style of an alligator clip, basically. So if you know the technical name, you can drop that down below. And then over here is the other part for his reading amps and things like that with that meter. So, and then again, he's got the DeWalt Atomic brushless 20 volt impact right there. I believe that's his last picture. So he doesn't go in depth on his TPLC. Pretty much the tools that we're seeing are his Velocity Rogue 5.0 tools. So he's using this here. You can see all the tools laid out right there. And then I'm also going to go back to that TPLC picture with it open, since we're not really going to see those. And again, there's his MP1. So I would assume this is probably his grab bag for most service type calls. And then he's probably got that bigger bag for stuff. He's kind of running the kind of same setup as what I attempt to do anyway. So here's the tools inside that LC. Again, a lot of the same style tools. I don't really see anything that's drastically different. And then we get back into the tools that were inside of his Velocity Rogue. So there's his tools. Again, comment down below if you've got questions for him. I'm interested in those Vera, they're Joker wrenches, but all their wrenches are called Joker, but they're the kind that kind of, I'm not going to call them ratcheting, because they're not really a ratcheting. They just kind of self-adjust, I guess. I don't know if that's the term for them, of self-adjusting. I'm interested on your feedback on those. I've had a buddy actually just text me recently asking me if I'd tried them out. He'd been watching a lot of videos on them, and I told him I had been thinking about at least getting me one just to try it and see if I like it. So I'm interested in your feedback on that, how well you like it. But maybe you've got some questions for Kieran as well. Drop that down below, and then also take a guess at what it is that you think he does with these. He told me in his email, so I'm not going to guess on this one. I think it's kind of a little bit obvious, but then I think with what he told me, it's not so obvious, but maybe you'll be able to guess that. But drop a comment down below. Guess what it is you think he does with these tools. Now let's get into the second loadout of the day, which is Patrick James. He's got a Tech Pack MC. It seems like it's a pretty nice bag. I was kind of between that and the MB5B whenever I was looking, but he's got a nice bag. We're going to go ahead and check it out, check out his tools, and see if we can guess what he does. And I've been saying Patrick James because that's what I'm a dummy, and I wrote that on my board, but it's actually Patrick Jones because I just saw his name whenever I was opening up these pictures. but you've been seeing his name as I've been putting it up there. So sorry about that, Patrick. It's Patrick Jones. You can see the outside of his bag here. Tech Pack MC. He's got that Ergodyne ProFlex kneeling pad. I've mentioned that before. I like his sticker down here. That's kind of like my Velcro patch that I've made for myself and put on my bag. Sometimes people comment on that whenever they see that on my bag. So I'm interested, Patrick, do you get comments from, I don't know if you do residential or commercial, but whenever you go into a place, whether it's a tenant or a homeowner or whatever it is, do they ever see that on your bag and make any comments? Because I get quite a few on mine, so I'm just interested if you get the same thing. But again, back into this, he's got a Milwaukee flashlight there, also a Milwaukee, and I can see that that one's the Surge. So he's got the Surge in there as well. So I'm seeing a lot of similarities between his and mine style of tools and what we like, because everything he's seeing that he's got on here, I've got at one time. And also you can look in the background. He's got a lot of nice stuff in the background on several of these pictures I noticed. He's got the pack out cooler, some organizers. He's got a lot of M18 tools back there, different stuff. So check out the background on these pictures as well. It may be stuff that he just uses at home, but if he's like me, he might work from home out of his own business or whatever it is, and this is kind of his place where he stores stuff that he's not using on certain jobs. So here's the one side of his bag. Looks like probably the right side. He's got some WD-40. Also, it looks like a headlamp, lots of electrical tape, probably some Teflon tape as well. So again, checking out that. Going over to the other side, he's got the Weehaw. That's that case that holds nut drivers and things like that. I went to go order it, and now it's been sold out ever since I finally decided I was going to pull a trigger on that. It's been sold out, so I'm going to pick one of those up. Also, again, the Surge on that side and some gloves. Here's the inside of his bag. So you got the rail or mag mat sticking out down there. Looks like he's got a Tool Check Plus down inside of that. Klein ratcheting multi, so he's got probably the nut driver pass-through set from Klein. Then he's also got a snap-on screwdriver as well, some vampire tool shears, some Knipex pliers. I believe he's got these out right here. So all this right here are all the things on the sides of his bag. So if the first couple pictures, you can look here and see he's got the small railer mag mats. I have picked those up as well. The M12 Surge, vessel bit holder, a small screwdriver, small slotted, a Hultafors pencil, ink saw, Pika ink, black, Klein thermostat screwdriver. There's the pass-through Klein, so he's keeping 3 sizes at least on the outside of his bag, along with the Milwaukee bit holder. I don't know if those are flexible. I'm not real sure what the silver ones are beside that, but then he's also got some files type things to put into his impact. Those work good on strike plates on doors and things like that. And then some different bit holders there, WD-40, the pads. So a lot of those we could see, but there's the outside of his bag. And then here's another look at the inside of his bag, it looks like. So we've already seen this. So again, just if you want to check out the loadout of this Tech Pack MC, maybe this is a bag that you've been looking at and you want to know how the tools fit inside of it. So here's his way that he's fitting the tools in there. Next picture are all the tools that are in that front side. So he's got up here the magnetic ball. I don't know if that's the Racketeers or another version. He's also got the Cyclops right angle attachment, wire brush, Klein torpedo level, also a mirror. Again, the Vampire scissors. He's got the ratcheting multi-head screwdriver. That's the one that comes with the pass-through nut drivers. He's got the flip socket all the way up to the 3/4. Vera screwdriver. Another nut driver there, a really long Milwaukee extension. He's got the Hyde foldable painter's tool and putty knife. That's a nice tool. Also has the Olight O-clip and a Baco adjustable wrench. I just picked one of those up here recently, or I've got one coming anyways. And then a Milwaukee small tape measure. I don't know what this, I'm trying to see what that brand is on this ratcheting screwdriver and the size. I can't really tell for sure, so don't know on that one. He's got the Knipex twin grips, also the Knipex Cobras. Those are the 250s, and then the plier wrench 250. 2 snap-on, looks like ratcheting screwdrivers right there. So there's the stubby and then a regular. He's got a pick set, maybe from Channel Lock. I'm not sure if that's Channel Lock or not. Tool Check Plus right there. Looks like he's got the SAE sizes, and then he's got metric and the Makita, and again the Reller Magmat. He's got a decimal and metric conversion chart as far as from stare at there, and then a lockout tag out if that helps you in your guesses any. Going to the next picture, here's the other side of his Tech Pack MC. And again, he's got these pulled out, so just checking out the loadout. Regular bit rail up in there, Klein insulated. He's got a fluke meter of some kind, also infrared tester, non-contact voltage tester, leads. So just checking out how he's got that in the bag. We'll go to the next picture. So over here we've got the Klein tester. I'm not sure if that's the other half of the breaker finder tester. It might be, or it could just be the tester by itself. He's also got some alligator clamps with a, this looks like to me this goes with that plug tester. I don't know if he's got that in another picture. I don't see that tool, but that right there goes with it as well. That's that breaker finder. I think it's ET310. He's got two of the Fat Ivan door stops. Those work really well. He's got the little popper. He's also got the ball end railer hex key set, small brush, file. Looks like up here he's got a jumper of some kind of something he's made for himself. Also he has, not real sure what that is right there, what that goes with. He's got alligator clips, small sections of wire in case maybe he's got to jump something. Let's see, down here in this corner he's got some keys along with, I'm not real sure what that is, zip ties. He's also got the UEI DTH35 right there, the fluke non-contact voltage tester, Knipex diagonals. Those look like a pretty big pair. Yeah, those are 10 inches. I don't have any 10 inches. I think all mine are 8. He's also got a pair of Knipex insulated needle nose, insulated flush cutters, and then the forged wire strippers. And then here he's got a fluke infrared tester as well, and then also the fluke T6 1000 Pro, I believe it is, with the field sense. So that's that meter that I just picked up recently. I think it's T6 1000 Pro anyways. Really nice meter. I really like it so far. And let's go ahead and go to the next picture, which kind of flips us over here to that other side. So again, he's got loose wires up there for if he needs those. Different ends for his leads there as far as for gripping, and then also little pinpoint things. He's also got the plunge type right there. Klein insulated screwdriver with the flip blade. Down here he's got some wire connectors, also lots of fuses. That right there, just that one little package right there ought to at least throw you in a certain direction, I would think. AA batteries from for something there, lots of different little Wagos and stuff that he's keeping probably down inside of a little pouch somewhere, and then some masonry drill bits from Bosch, or those are those multi-drill bits that are supposed to do anything, I think. So that's what he's got there, and I believe that's his last picture. It is. So take one last look at those tools. So here's the back side of his bag right there. Here's the front side of his bag as far as that goes, and then we'll go back and look at the outside of his bag. Those are all the tools that he carries in his Tech Pack MC. Take a guess down below what it is you think Patrick Jones does with these tools. I'm going to guess just alone with that bag of little 3-amp purple fuses. He's got the little popper. He's got all sorts of things, the brush. To me, it's definitely going to be HVAC. If I had to guess between commercial and residential, I'm going to say that he does both, and I'm going to say he does service. That's not to say he doesn't do installs and things like that. He might very well do that as well, and he's got a total different, outfit that he does whenever he's going and doing that. If he does duct work and all those kinds of things, I'm sure he does. If he does that, I'm sure it's not out of primarily this bag, because it's just a total different set of tools. But take a guess. If you've got some questions for him, drop that down below. But make sure and guess what you think he does with these, along with Kieran and McCormick. Make sure you drop down below and answer what it is that you think both of them do with their tools and those bags for their line of work. Take a guess down below. As always, I hope this video was helpful, useful. You guys stay safe. Have a blessed day. See you on the next video.